Hello and welcome to SimTrack's channel dedicated to bringing you informative and entertaining train sim world content. Today, as is 2026, we have a whole year of rail simming ahead of us. I thought, what better to do than to collate a list of my 5 routes that I really want to see announced during this year, whether that's for Train Sim World 7 if that happens, or just as DLCs for Train Sim World 6 as it is now. So today I thought I'll take you through it all whilst operating this Great Western Railway 802 service to Paynton. Because why not? So let's get straight into it, shall we, with the first route I want to see. Now, I will be doing 2 British routes, 2 European routes, and 1 American route. That's how I decided to do it because I want to do 5. It's quite a round, quite a nice round number. So, oh, we have a 150 coming in there. That's cool. So, my first UK route I want to announce this year is the East Coast Main Line, London King's Cross to Peterborough. Now, we already have Peterborough to Doncaster in the game. However, that might just be one of my least favorite routes. And that's as someone who lives on the East Coast Main Line. I live on the East Coast Main Line. I go train spotting on the East Coast Main Line multiple times a week. I love the East Coast Main Line, but it just, they've picked such poor section. It is literally miles upon miles of 2 intermediate stations. Not even that. I think it might. No, yeah, there's 3 stations on the route. I'm pretty sure, if I've counted correctly. And there's just miles of nothingness. And whilst I love the stock, I like the I like the 800, I like the 801, but it is just nothingness. And when you have the 802, like we're driving today, on a line as good as the Riviera line, it's kind of hard to enjoy the East Coast Main Line. So, what would make me actually re-download the East Coast Main Line we've got today? That would be doing the section from King's Cross to Peterborough, because we could have easily have route hopping and route hop at Peterborough onto the existing East Coast Main Line. Ignore that I haven't set the train up. And it would be so nice to actually get that section. A section which has things to look at, which has stations to stop at. Now, you might be wondering what stock you're going to use. Well, that's where this route gets even better. I want to see the Class 91 in Train Sim World. Since first playing this game a few years ago now, I have wanted to see Class 91. I love the 91s. They are beautiful trains. And the fact they haven't been introduced into Train Sim World yet is honestly a crime. Like it's awful how they haven't been introduced yet. So I believe having the East Coast Main Line will give them a chance to be introduced. So to recap, on the East Coast Main Line, Peterborough to Doncaster, not Peterborough Doncaster, on East Coast Main Line, London King's Cross to Peterborough, utilising the Class 91. Now, we're speeding. Now, what's next? Next up, I want to see. Now, this may seem like quite an unusual route, but I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. I want to see the EMR connect from London St Pancras to Corby using the Class 360s. I like the 360s. They are honestly pretty uncomfortable to ride in, but they are pretty cool trains other than that. And I think this route would work really well. It'll give us another London terminus station, really building up London and the ability to route hop between different places, which I think would be really cool. You can do a service down from Peterborough all the way down to King's Cross, hop over to St Pancras, go to Luton Airport, or hop over to Paddington from St Pancras and go down south towards Devon and Cornwall. I think that would be really cool to try and build up London as a sort of hub city. So the service is a bit longer than I think other services. However, I do think there are things to do. There are multiple stops along the way, and since the 360 is a commute to train, you will be stopping more times than, say, the 810s, which EMR have recently introduced. So I do believe that would be quite a cool route to see. So to recap, that is the EMR Connect from London St Pancras to Horby using the Class 360s. Now then, on to my European route choices. So you might want to. Well, then, I've thought long and hard about this. I have generally thought long and hard. I've picked two European routes I think are really good. So the first European route I want to see is the Yüksek Hızlı Tren. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation in Turkey, running from Istanbul to Izmit using the TCDD HT 80,000 trains. Now, I don't know why, but I love this route. Like, the train, the HD 8000s are such cool trains. Similar to the ICE, the same base link as the ICE 3, which we have now. So that's another thing. Like, we have the base for this train in the game already. And I think this would be such a cool part of the world that we haven't yet explored on Train Sim World. It is an uncharted territory, so to have that line would be really cool. Now, the line is about an hour long, so that's pretty similar to the other stuff we have in Trains of the World now. I don't want to go all the way to Ankara because that takes about 4 hours, and whilst I would love a route of that length in Trains of the World, that's just completely unfeasible to happen. The sheer size of the DLC would probably be more than the game itself. Like, at that point, that's just how long that route is, how much scenery it has to pack in. So that is not happening. But I actually I'm fine with a shorter route. Istanbul to Izmit, about an hour long, and yeah, I don't see any benefit. So yeah, that is the Yüksek Hızlı Tren from Istanbul to Izmit, utilizing the HT 80,000 trains. Now, for the second European route, I have gone for something a bit out of the ordinary. And I realized that, hang on, we really need more like French roots. We just don't have any French roots apart from the LGB Mediterranean, which we all know is just not a great route. So, what do we do with France? Now, I've had a genius. I do, I say genius. What if we do? I thought if we do a commuter service. So, I decided to go for the RERE route from Nanterre-la-Folie to Tourman and then a shorter run to Charles Gourmet. Now, I am definitely butchering that pronunciation. I do apologize. But I think that'd be a really cool route. Utilizing the Z58,000 stock, which I think are beautiful trains. Like, have you seen them? Yes. I like those trains. They are cool trains. And I think this route would be really cool. It's quite a short route. It's nothing too long. But again, it's a commuter route, which a lot of people love, and I love as well, because you're constantly doing things. It's not just hop the train at 70, 80 miles an hour and sit there for some miles. Like, it is a good route, and I like it for that. So that is why, for my second European route, I've decided to go for the RERE from Nanterre-la-Folie to Tourman and Charles Gourmet. Once again, sorry for the pronunciation, and also with the Z58,000 stop. Now, for the final route I want to see this year is my American route of choice. Now, I had to think quite hard about this. I wasn't really sure because we've got a lot of US routes. Now, US routes aren't really my cup of tea. I like British routes. That is me. Most of my Trains in the World DLC collection is British routes. I also have some European routes as well. I really don't have that many US routes outside of the base routes you get with games. So think Morristown Line, for example. That's actually quite a fun route. I won't knock Morristown Line. So after thinking long and hard for my US pick, I decided to go for the MARC Camden Line from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore Camden, from Washington Union Station, I should say, to Baltimore Camden Station. Now, it's 39 miles long, so not too long, and it utilizes the MARC GP40WH-2 stock. Now, it's very similar to other US stock we've seen in the past, so it wouldn't need much of a change. And oh, we're speeding. And I think that this would be a really cool route. It will take us to a new place, Baltimore, but also utilize Washington, which is such a key city in US rail, which I think is really underrepresented in train sim. Well, I don't own a single route. I can't remember which routes actually have Washington, but I know it's not many. So yeah, I would like to see this route. It's like I said, 39 miles, few stops along the way. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stops along the way. So I'm just reading off from my notes here. And it would be really cool to take what is usually considered like a heavy freight locomotive and really push it to do some commuter passenger stuff. I think that would be really cool. So that is my pick for my US route. I want the MARC Camden line from Washington Union Station to Baltimore Camden Station, utilizing the GP40WH-2 stock. So yeah, that is my routes of choice that I want to see this year in Train Sim World. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you agree with these picks? Would you like to see these routes? If you have any other routes you would like to see that I didn't mention in this video, drop them down in the comments. I'll be reading all of your comments because I want to see what the players all want. And if you want me to make a follow-up video to this, discussing your ideas and their feasibility, let me know down below. And I'll see you next time for another Sim Tracks video here on Train Sim World. Bye bye for now.